The impossible arrival Captain Zexthor had served in the Galactic Empire fleet for 30 years. He had seen battles across 100 star systems. He had witnessed the death of entire planets. Nothing surprised him anymore, until today. "Sir, we're detecting unusual energy readings," his sensor officer reported. The young officer's voice trembled slightly. Zexthor leaned forward in his command chair. "What kind of energy? I don't know, sir. It's unlike anything in our database." The captain frowned. The Galactic Empire had conquered thousands of worlds. Their database contained every known form of energy in the galaxy. "Show me." The main screen flickered to life. Empty space. Nothing but stars and darkness. But the sensors were screaming. Something was there. "Increase scan intensity," Zexthor ordered. The sensor officer's hands moved across his console. Then he froze. "Sir, something's happening." The empty space began to shimmer. It looked like heat waves rising from hot sand. Then the shimmer grew stronger, brighter. The bridge lights dimmed automatically as the sensors detected massive energy spikes. All ships, battle stations. Zexthor shouted into his communicator, and then it appeared. One moment there was nothing. The next moment, a warship hung in space before them. It was massive, larger than any Empire battlecruiser. Its hull was dark gray, almost black, with strange angular designs that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. But that wasn't what terrified Zexthor. The ship had no jump signature, no warp trail, no quantum wake, no residual energy from fold space travel. According to every law of physics the Empire knew, this ship had simply appeared from nowhere. "Impossible. Get me a scan of that vessel," Zexthor demanded. "Now!" His tactical officer worked frantically. "Sir, our scanners are having difficulty penetrating their hull. The composition is unknown. I'm reading strange energy patterns throughout the ship. Nothing matches any known technology." Zexthor felt a cold fear settle in his chest. In 30 years, he had never encountered technology the Empire couldn't identify. "Send a standard warning. Identify yourself or be destroyed." The communications officer sent the message. They waited. Seconds stretched into minutes. The mysterious ship remained silent. It simply floated there, dark and menacing. "Sir, 6 more patrol ships have arrived," the tactical officer reported. "They're taking positions around the unknown vessel." "Good. 7 Empire warships against 1 unknown ship." The odds were acceptable, but Zexthor couldn't shake his unease. How had this ship appeared without warning? What kind of technology could bypass every sensor in the Empire fleet? "Send the warning again," he ordered. "If they don't respond in 60 seconds, prepare to fire." The message was sent. Still no response. 40 seconds passed. 50, 55. Weapons charged and ready. "Sir," the tactical officer confirmed. 60 seconds. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission," the communications officer suddenly announced. "Audio only. Single word. Play it." A speaker crackled to life. A voice spoke. It was calm, measured, and spoke perfect galactic standard language. But the accent was strange, foreign, unlike anything Zexthor had heard before. "Hello?" Just one word. But it sent chills down the captain's spine. "Respond," Zexthor ordered. "This is Captain Zexthor of the Galactic Empire 4th Fleet. You have violated Empire space. Identify your species and your intentions immediately." A pause. Then the voice spoke again. This time there was something in the tone. Amusement, confidence. "We are from Earth, we are human, and we have been watching you for a very long time." "Earth? Human?" Zexthor quickly accessed the Empire database. His eyes widened. Earth was listed as a primitive planet on the outer edge of the galaxy. Pre-warp civilization, no space travel beyond their own moon. They had been observed 50 years ago and deemed no threat. "Impossible," Zexthor whispered. "That planet doesn't have this technology." "Sir, should we fire?" the tactical officer asked. Zexthor hesitated. Everything about this situation was wrong. Ships didn't appear from nothing. Primitive planets didn't build warships that appeared in the heart of Empire space. His instincts screamed danger. "Human vessel, you will power down your systems and prepare to be boarded. Failure to comply will result in your destruction." Another pause. Then the human voice returned. This time, Zexthor definitely heard amusement. "Captain Zexthor, we have been watching your empire for 50 years. Every battle, every conquest, Every species you destroyed. We studied you. We learned from you, and we prepared for this moment. The human paused, then delivered words that would haunt Zexthor forever. Your empire ends today. We've been watching. Now we've come to act. The message Captain Zexthor's hands gripped the arms of his command chair. His claws dug into the metal. You dare threaten the Galactic Empire? You're one ship against our entire fleet. The human voice remained calm, almost friendly. Captain, may I explain something to you? Explain what? Zexthor growled. How we got here. Before Zexthor could respond, the main screen changed. It showed a technical display. The human ship was sharing data with them. The display showed something impossible, a new form of travel. The humans called it stealth fold technology. Traditional jump drives create a signature, the human explained. They tear open space and leave evidence. Your sensors detect the energy. You see ships coming, but our technology is different. We fold space around us. We slip between dimensions. We move without disturbing anything. That's why you never saw us coming. Zexthor stared at the display. If this was real, it changed everything. An enemy that could appear anywhere without warning. No advance notice. No time to prepare defenses. You're lying, he said. But his voice lacked conviction. Am I? The human asked. Captain, for 50 years we've been watching you. We positioned observation posts throughout Empire space. Small, hidden, invisible to your sensors. We watched every battle, recorded every tactic, studied every weakness. The screen changed again. This time it showed recordings. Empire ships in battle, invasions of peaceful planets, destruction of colonies, all recorded from positions the Empire never detected. Zexthor felt his blood run cold. If the humans had really been watching for 50 years, they knew everything. Every strategy, every weapon, every defense. What do you want? He asked quietly. Justice, the human replied. But first, we want you to understand your situation. Please, Captain. Try to destroy our ship. What? Fire your weapons. All of them. We won't move. We won't dodge. Fire everything you have. Zexthor hesitated. Was this a trick? But the human ship just floated there, waiting. He looked at his tactical officer. Do it. Full weapons barrage. The tactical officer initiated the attack sequence. Energy cannons charged. Missile tubes loaded. Plasma torpedoes armed. Every weapon on all 7 Empire ships locked onto the human vessel. Fire! Space erupted with light. Energy beams lanced through the darkness. Missiles streaked toward their target. Plasma explosions bloomed like deadly flowers. The combined firepower could destroy a small moon. The human ship disappeared in a sphere of fire and energy. For 5 seconds, the barrage continued. Then the weapons fell silent. The explosions faded. The human ship emerged from the fire, completely undamaged. Not a scratch, not a dent, not even a scorch mark. The dark hull looked exactly the same, as if nothing had happened. Impossible, Zexthor whispered. His tactical officer was frantically checking his console. Sir, their shields absorbed everything. Our sensors show their defensive field didn't even drop below 98% strength. We hit them with enough power to destroy a planet, and we barely touched their shields. Thank you for the demonstration, Captain, the human voice said. Now you understand. Your weapons cannot harm us. Your sensors cannot track us. You cannot run from us. You cannot hide from us. You cannot fight us. Zexthor felt true fear for the first time in decades. What? What are you going to do? That depends on you, the human said. We need to speak with your Empire leadership. We need to deliver a message to your homeworld. Will you help us? Never, Zexthor shouted. His pride fought against his fear. I will not betray the Empire. I will die before I help you. We understand, the human said. There was no anger in the voice. Just patience. We hoped you would cooperate, but we planned for this response. What do you mean? Captain, we don't need your help. We can reach your homeworld on our own. We just thought it would be more polite to ask first. The human ship's engines powered up. A low hum filled the space around them. Zexthor's sensors screamed warnings. All ships block their path. He ordered. Don't let them leave. The 7 Empire warships moved to intercept. They formed a wall between the human ship and the direction of the Empire homeworld. The human ship simply vanished. One instant it was there, the next instant gone. No jump signature, no energy trail, nothing. Find them, Zexthor shouted. Scan all frequencies. Where did they go? His sensor officer worked frantically. Sir, I'm detecting a massive energy spike. Direction. Oh no. What? Where are they? The sensor officer's face went pale. Sir, they're already 3 star systems away, moving toward the capital. They crossed 3 light years in less than 10 seconds. Zexthor collapsed back into his chair. 3 light years in 10 seconds. The fastest Empire ships needed 3 hours to cover that distance. The humans had done it in moments. He grabbed his communicator with shaking hands. This is Captain Zexthor to Empire Command. Priority Alpha alert. Unknown hostile ship heading for the home world. Technology beyond anything we've encountered. Request immediate planetary defense activation. The response came back quickly. Captain, we show no hostile ships in our space. Your sensors must be malfunctioning. No, Zexthor shouted. They're using stealth technology. You can't see them, but they're coming. They'll be there in... His console beeped. A new message. From the Empire homeworld. From the capital planet itself. Too late, Captain, the message read. We're already here. The human warship had reached the heart of the Galactic Empire, and no one had seen them coming. Retry Claude can make mistakes. Please double-check responses. The demonstration, the capital planet of the Galactic Empire, had stood untouched for 1,000 years. No enemy had ever reached it. No hostile ship had ever entered its orbit. Massive defense stations surrounded the planet like metal moons. Weapon platforms bristled with firepower. Shield generators created layers of protection that could withstand any attack. The Empire had always believed their homeworld was completely safe. They were wrong. High Chancellor Vorix was in the middle of a council meeting when alarms began screaming throughout the palace. Red emergency lights flooded the chamber. His security chief burst through the doors. Your Excellency. Unknown vessel in orbit. It appeared without warning. Vorix stood up slowly. His 4 eyes narrowed. Impossible. Our sensors monitor everything within 10 light years. Nothing can approach without detection. Nevertheless, it's here. A massive warship. Dark hull. Unknown design. It's just hovering above the northern continent. Vorix rushed to the observation deck. Through the massive windows he could see it. A dark shape against the stars. Large enough to blot out constellations. It hung in space like a predator watching prey. Activate all defenses, Vorix commanded. Every weapon platform, every defense station, every shield generator. I want that ship surrounded. Within minutes, 300 defense platforms took positions around the human vessel. Enough firepower to destroy an invasion fleet. Enough shields to protect against any weapon known in the galaxy. The human ship didn't move. It just waited. Open a channel, Vorix ordered. The communications officer worked his console. Channel open, Your Excellency. Unknown vessel, this is High Chancellor Vorix of the Galactic Empire. You have committed an act of war by entering our space. Identify yourself immediately or be destroyed. For a long moment, there was only silence. Then a calm voice responded, Human. That strange accent. Chancellor Vorix. My name is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth vessel Prometheus. We need to talk. Earth? Vorix accessed his memory banks. A primitive planet. No space technology. Impossible. Earth doesn't have ships like yours. Earth has many things you don't know about, Captain Chen replied. We've been watching you, Chancellor, for 50 years, and we don't like what we've seen. Vorix felt anger rise in his chest. You dare judge the Empire? We have ruled this galaxy for a millennium. We brought order to chaos, civilization to primitive worlds. You brought death, Chen said quietly. You destroyed species that refused to submit. You enslaved populations. You committed genocide on 17 different worlds. We have recordings of everything. Lies, Vorix shouted. You know nothing of what it takes to maintain order. We know enough, Chen said, and we're here to deliver a message. The Empire's crimes end today. Vorix laughed, a harsh, bitter sound. One ship? You think one ship can threaten the entire Empire? I have 300 weapon platforms surrounding you. One word from me and you'll be dust. Chancellor, please don't make us demonstrate our capabilities. People will die. The only death today will be yours. All platforms fire at will. 300 weapon platforms opened fire simultaneously. The sky lit up like a second sun. Energy beams, missiles, plasma torpedoes, quantum disruptors. Every weapon the Empire possessed unleashed at once. The barrage lasted 30 seconds. Enough firepower to destroy a continent. When the light faded, smoke and energy residue filled the orbital space. The human ship emerged from the cloud, completely untouched. not even a scratch on its dark hull. The shields hadn't flickered. It was as if the attack never happened. Voryx felt his confidence crack. "Fire again! Keep firing!" "Chancellor, our weapons aren't penetrating their shields," the tactical officer reported. "They're not even weakening them. Impossible. Use the Nova cannons, the antimatter torpedoes, everything." The platforms fired again and again. For 5 full minutes, they poured destruction at the human ship. Orbital space became a storm of fire and energy. Nothing worked. The human ship simply absorbed everything, like a mountain ignoring rain. Finally, Voryx raised his hand. The firing stopped. Silence fell across the command center. Everyone stared at the screens in disbelief. "Thank you for stopping," Captain Chen said. Her voice was still calm, still patient. "Now let me show you what we can do." The human ship moved, but moved was the wrong word. It flickered. One instant it was in front of the northern continent. The next instant it was on the opposite side of the planet. The next instant it was between 2 defense platforms. Then behind the largest space station. It was moving faster than their sensors could track. "How?" Voryx whispered. "How is this possible?" The human ship appeared directly above the palace, so close that its shadow fell across the building. Voryx could see details on its hull now. Strange symbols, markings in an alien language. "Your platforms are too slow," Chen explained. "Your weapons can't track us. Your shields can't stop us. Chancellor, we could destroy every defense you have in under 10 minutes, but we won't. Why not?" Voryx asked. His voice sounded hollow. "Because we're not conquerors. We're not here to destroy you. We're here to stop you from destroying others." The human ship moved again. This time it appeared next to the Empire's most secret weapon. A massive station hidden behind the planet's largest moon. The Planet Killer device. A weapon so powerful it was only mentioned in classified files. A weapon that could crack a world in half. "You found the Omega platform," Voryx said quietly. "How?" "That station was hidden behind every stealth field the Empire possessed." "We found it 50 years ago," Chen said. "We've been monitoring it ever since." "Chancellor, you were about to activate it, weren't you? You were going to use it against us." Voryx said nothing. She was right. "We disabled it 3 minutes ago," Chen continued. "Remote infiltration of your systems. Your Planet Killer is now just an expensive piece of metal. You can't activate it. You can't fire it. You can't use it ever again." Voryx collapsed into his chair. "The Empire's ultimate weapon, useless. Their defenses, useless. Everything they had built over 1,000 years, useless against this one human ship." "What do you want?" he asked. His voice was barely a whisper. "I want you to listen," Chen said. "Tomorrow I'm going to broadcast a message to every world in the Empire. Every conquered species, every enslaved population, every planet you control. And they're all going to hear the truth about what you've done. And then we're going to have a very serious conversation about the future of this galaxy." The human ship moved one more time. It positioned itself directly above the Imperial Palace. A constant reminder, a dark promise hanging in the sky. The Galactic Empire had ruled through fear for 1,000 years. Now, for the first time, the Empire itself knew what fear felt like. Part 4. The ultimatum morning came to the capital planet, but darkness still hung in the sky. The human warship remained in orbit, blocking out the sun over the Imperial Palace. Millions of citizens looked up and saw the massive vessel. Fear spread through the streets like wildfire. High Chancellor Voryx had not slept. He sat in the war room surrounded by his top military commanders and advisors. Everyone looked exhausted, defeated. "Options," Voryx demanded. "Give me options." General Krath, the Empire's highest military officer, spoke first. "Your Excellency, we've analyzed the human ship for 12 hours. Our conclusion is troubling. Their technology is at least 200 years ahead of ours. Maybe more. We cannot fight them with conventional weapons." "Then use unconventional weapons," Voryx snapped. "We tried," another admiral said quietly. "We attempted cyber attacks on their systems. They blocked us. We tried quantum disruption fields. No effect. We even considered ramming them with unmanned vessels. Their point defense systems destroyed our ships before they got close." Voryx slammed his fist on the table. "There must be something. We are the Galactic Empire. We have conquered 1,000 worlds. We cannot be defeated by one ship from a primitive planet. That planet is not primitive anymore, Krath said. And I don't think this is just one ship. Before Vorex could respond, every screen in the room activated. Captain Chen's face appeared, human. Strange features. 2 eyes instead of 4. Smooth skin instead of scales. But those eyes held strength and determination. "Good morning, Chancellor," she said. "I hope you're ready. It's time for that conversation." "You have no right to—" "I have every right," Chen interrupted. "Because unlike your empire, we actually care about right and wrong. Now please pay attention. This message is being broadcast to every planet in your empire. Every species, every world. They're all hearing this right now." Vorex felt his blood turn cold. Empire-wide broadcast. Impossible. Their communications were encrypted, protected. "Nothing is protected from us," Chen said as if reading his thoughts. "Now listen," the screen split. On one side, Captain Chen. On the other side, recordings, evidence, videos of Empire ships destroying peaceful colonies, audio files of orders to commit genocide, documents proving the Empire's crimes. Chen's voice was steady as she narrated. "People of the galaxy, my name is Captain Sarah Chen. I represent Earth and humanity. For 50 years, we have watched the Galactic Empire. We have recorded their actions. And today, we share the truth with you." The recordings played. Planet after planet, species after species. Hundreds of worlds conquered. Millions killed. Populations enslaved. All documented. All proven. Vorex watched in horror as decades of carefully hidden crimes were exposed to the entire galaxy. "The Empire told you they brought order," Chen continued. "They told you they brought civilization, but they brought death. They brought suffering, and they called it peace." The recordings ended. Chen's face filled the screen again. But today things change. The Empire can no longer hide their crimes. They can no longer threaten innocent species. Because Earth is here, humanity is here, and we will not allow this tyranny to continue. She paused, then looked directly at the camera, directly at Vorex. "Hi, Chancellor Vorex, I am giving you a choice. A simple choice. Peace or war. You cannot threaten the Empire." Vorex shouted at the screen. "This isn't a threat," Chen said calmly. "It's a fact. Here are our terms. First, release all conquered species. Give them back their freedom. Second, pay reparations to the worlds you damaged. Third, destroy your invasion fleets. No more conquests. No more wars of aggression. Impossible. This would destroy the Empire." "Yes," Chen agreed. "It would destroy the Empire as you know it. But it would save the species you've oppressed. That's the choice, Chancellor. Save your empire or save innocent lives." Vorex stood up, shaking with rage. "And if I refuse, what then? You're one ship. Even with your superior technology, you cannot enforce this across the entire galaxy." Chen smiled. It was not a kind smile. "Admiral Krath, you said you didn't think this was just one ship. You were right." The screens changed again. New images appeared. 20 locations across Empire space. 20 different star systems. And in each location, a human warship. Each one identical to the Prometheus. Each one materializing from nowhere. Each one positioned above a major Empire world. Vorex felt his legs weaken. He grabbed the table for support. 20 ships. 21, Chen corrected. The Prometheus and 20 sister ships, all using stealth fold technology. All invisible to your sensors until we choose to reveal ourselves. All positioned above your most important worlds. She leaned forward. "Chancellor, while you were sleeping, we surrounded your empire. We are in orbit above your core worlds. Your industrial centers, your military headquarters, your supply depots, every critical location in your territory." General Krath was frantically checking reports. "She's telling the truth, Your Excellency. We're receiving confirmations from all over the Empire. Human warships appearing everywhere." "And there's something else you should know," Chen continued. "These 21 ships, they're just the beginning. Earth has 40 more in production. In 6 months, we'll have 61. In 1 year, over 100. How many do you think we'll have in 5 years, Chancellor?" Vorex couldn't speak. His entire worldview was crumbling. The Empire's military superiority, gone. Their technological advantage, gone. Their control over the galaxy, slipping away. "You have 24 hours, Chen said. "Accept our terms or every human ship will begin orbital bombardment of military targets. We won't destroy your world. We won't kill civilians. But we will dismantle your military infrastructure piece by piece. Your choice, Chancellor. Wait. Vorix finally found his voice. "We need time to discuss, time to negotiate." "You've had 1,000 years," Chen said quietly. 1,000 years to choose peace. You chose conquest instead. Now your time is up. 24 hours, Chancellor. Choose wisely." The transmission ended. The screens went dark. Vorix stood in the silent war room. Around him, his commanders waited. His advisors watched. Everyone looked at him, waiting for orders, waiting for leadership. But what could he say? How could he fight an enemy that appeared from nowhere? An enemy that could strike anywhere? An enemy with technology the Empire couldn't match? General Krath spoke softly. "Your Excellency, what are your orders?" Vorix looked at the ceiling. Above them, the human warship waited, patient, unstoppable. A dark promise of what would come if he chose wrong. For the first time in 1,000 years, the Galactic Empire faced a simple truth. They had finally met someone stronger, and the only question that mattered was, would they have the wisdom to surrender, or the pride to fall? The clock was ticking, 24 hours to decide the fate of the galaxy. Part 5. The new galaxy, 23 hours had passed. High Chancellor Vorix stood alone in his private chamber, staring out at the human warship. The Prometheus hung in the sky like a dark sword, ready to fall. Around the planet, citizens whispered in the streets. Across the Empire, conquered species waited with hope they had not felt in generations. The Council had argued for 20 hours. Some demanded they fight. Some begged for surrender. But everyone knew the truth. The Empire had no options left. Vorix's communicator beeped. General Krath's voice came through. "Your Excellency, we have 30 minutes remaining. What is your decision?" Vorix closed his eyes. He had built his entire life around the Empire's power, the Empire's glory, the Empire's eternal dominance. To surrender now meant admitting everything was a lie, but to fight meant death. Not just his death, the death of billions. He opened his communicator. "Contact the human ship. Tell them I wish to speak with Captain Chen." 5 minutes later, Chen's face appeared on his screen. She looked tired but alert. "Chancellor Vorix, have you made your decision?" "I want to understand something first," Vorix said slowly. "Why? Why does Earth care what happens in this part of the galaxy? You are so far away. These conflicts don't affect you. Why risk war with the Empire?" Chen was quiet for a moment. When she spoke, her voice was gentle. "Chancellor, 50 years ago when we first discovered you, we faced a choice. We could hide and hope you never found Earth, or we could prepare to face you. We chose to prepare, but why confront us now?" "Because we learned something about ourselves," Chen continued. "Humans have a saying, evil triumphs when good people do nothing. We watched you destroy species that couldn't defend themselves. We watched you enslave innocent populations, and we realized that if we did nothing, we would be just as guilty as you." She leaned forward. "We have the power to stop you, Chancellor. That means we have the responsibility to stop you. It's that simple." Vorix felt something crack inside him. Not anger. Something else. Something he had not felt in many years. Shame. "If I accept your terms," he said quietly, "the Empire will collapse. Our military will rebel. Our economy will fail. Chaos will spread across 1,000 worlds." "Yes," Chen agreed. "The Empire as you know it will end. But something better can take its place. A coalition of free species, working together, trading together, living together. Not through force, through choice. You make it sound simple." "It won't be simple," Chen admitted. "It will be hard. It will take years, maybe decades, but it will be better than what you have now. Better than ruling through fear." Vorix looked at his hands. Hands that had signed execution orders. Hands that had commanded invasions. Hands stained with the blood of millions. "And if I refuse?" he asked. "If I choose to fight?" "Then we will dismantle your military infrastructure," Chen said. There was no cruelty in her voice. Just certainty. "We will destroy your fleets, your weapons, your ability to make war. And when we're done, the result will be the same. The Empire will fall, but many more will die first. So I have no real choice." "You have the most important choice," Chen corrected him. "You can choose how the Empire ends, in fire and blood, or in transformation and hope. That choice is yours alone." Vorix stood silent for a long moment. Outside his window he could see the city. Millions of people going about their lives. They didn't know that their world was about to change forever. He thought about his legacy, 1,000 years of Empire history. Would they remember him as the Chancellor who presided over the Empire's greatest defeat? Or as the Chancellor who had the courage to choose peace? "What happens to me?" he asked. "If I accept your terms, what happens to the Empire leadership?" "That depends," Chen said. "If you cooperate, if you help transition power to the freed species, if you work to repair the damage you've caused, then you can retire peacefully. Live out your days in peace. And if I don't cooperate, then you will face trial for war crimes, along with every other Empire leader who committed atrocities." Voryx nodded slowly. A trial, prison, or death. But at least his people would live. The Empire's citizens would survive. He made his decision. "Captain Chen, I accept your terms. All of them." He heard Chen exhale. Relief. She had been prepared for war, but she had hoped for peace. "Thank you, Chancellor. You've made the right choice, have I?" Voryx asked bitterly. "I have just destroyed everything my people built." "No," Chen said firmly. "You've saved everything that matters, lives, futures, hope. The Empire was built on conquest. But your people can build something better. Something that lasts not because of fear, but because of cooperation." Voryx contacted his council. He gave the orders. Release the conquered species. Dismantle the invasion fleets. Begin reparations. Every command felt like a knife in his heart, but he gave them anyway. Within hours, the news spread across the galaxy. The Galactic Empire had surrendered. On 1,000 worlds, enslaved populations wept with joy. Species that had lived under Empire rule for generations suddenly found themselves free. Chains broke, prisons opened. The impossible had happened. On the Empire homeworld, the reaction was different. Shock, disbelief, anger. Many citizens couldn't understand how their mighty empire had fallen to a single species. But slowly, as Captain Chen's recordings spread, as the evidence of the Empire's crimes became public, some began to understand. Not everyone accepted it. Some military commanders refused the surrender. They tried to fight, but the human warships appeared wherever resistance emerged. Quick, precise, overwhelming. Within days, all military resistance ended. The transformation had begun. Captain Chen broadcast one final message to the galaxy. "People of the Milky Way, this is Captain Sarah Chen of Earth. Today marks the beginning of a new era. The Galactic Empire has fallen, but this is not a conquest. This is a liberation." Her image appeared on screens across 1,000 worlds. "Earth does not seek to replace the Empire. We don't want to rule you. We want you to rule yourselves. Each species, each world, free to choose your own path. Free to build your own future." She paused, looking directly into the camera. "But understand this. Earth will remain vigilant. We have proven we can reach any world in this galaxy. We can appear anywhere, anytime. And if any species tries to build a new empire, if anyone tries to conquer or enslave others, we will stop them." Her voice became steel. "Humanity protects the weak. We stand against tyranny. We fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. This is not a threat. This is a promise. The age of empires is over. The age of cooperation begins today." The transmission ended. High Chancellor Voryx watched from his private chamber. Soon he would step down from power. Soon he would face judgment for his crimes. But as he looked at the human warship in the sky, he felt something unexpected. Relief. The burden of empire had been crushing him for years. The weight of maintaining control. The constant fear of rebellion. The endless cycle of violence. Now it was over. The empire had fallen in a single day. But perhaps in its place, something better would grow. Captain Chen stood on the bridge of the Prometheus, looking at the galaxy map. 21 human warships glowed on the display, 40 more in production. By next year, over 100, her first officer approached. "Captain, we're receiving messages from freed worlds. They're asking for our help. Trade agreements, defense pacts, technology sharing." Chen smiled. "Tell them we'll consider each request. But make it clear, Earth is not here to rule them. We're here to ensure they have the freedom to rule themselves." "Understood, Captain." "What are our orders?" Chen looked at the stars. Thousands of worlds, millions of species, all watching, all wondering what humanity would do next. "We patrol," she said simply. "We watch." We protect. The galaxy thought Earth was primitive. They thought we were weak. They never saw us coming. She turned to her crew. But they'll never forget us either. Because humanity doesn't just reach for the stars. We protect them. And anyone who threatens innocent life will learn what we learned long ago. That the greatest power isn't the ability to conquer. It's the courage to defend those who cannot defend themselves. The Prometheus powered up its engines. Around the galaxy, 20 other human warships did the same. Silent guardians, invisible protectors, ready to appear anywhere tyranny raised its head. The Galactic Empire had ruled through fear for 1,000 years. But on this day, a new power emerged. Not an empire, not conquerors, just humans, doing what humans do best. Standing up for what's right. No matter the cost, the galaxy would never be the same, and somewhere, in the darkness of space, more human warships were being built. Because Earth had learned the most important lesson of all. Peace isn't the absence of conflict. Peace is having the strength to prevent it. The new age had begun, and humanity was ready. The end.